Welcome to Hanging with Hillbilly.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to Hanging with Hillbilly. This is going to be part 3 of the best evidence proving that aliens exist. Not seen part 1 and part 2, I suggest you go back and check those out before watching this video, as they do go in sequence here. But we're going to get right into it here, part 3 of the series. Let's go ahead and get into it.
The Phoenix Lights. Okay, so far we've covered some very widely observed UFO sightings, but nothing can match the sheer number of people that reported seeing what became known as the Phoenix Lights. The Phoenix Lights were two events that happened on the evening of March 13, 1997, in the skies above Nevada and Arizona. The first event started at around 7:30 p.m., when a witness in Henderson, Nevada, reported seeing an array of glowing orbs in the sky. From there, they slowly made their way across state lines to Phoenix, Arizona, a near 300-mile journey that was seen by thousands upon thousands of people, including actor Kurt Russell. The lights made the shape of a V, with some observers claiming they could faintly see the craft itself through the clouds. Then they passed over the city and disappeared without a trace.
So, Kurt Russell make it valid? Asking for, I don't know, Hollywood. Everything in Hollywood's.
What? And it gets weirder. At around 10 p.m., loads of people in Phoenix also reported seeing a separate row of bright lights hovering in the sky. According to the author and renowned UFO skeptic, Robert Schaefer, these lights actually originated from two separate U.S. Air Force training exercises with A-10 jets. One exercise consisted of the planes flying in a triangle formation and another of them firing flares. What a buzzkill. But it makes sense. Case closed, right? Wrong. In 2007, former Arizona governor and witness John Fife Symington III came out to speak on the lights. As a pilot, he claimed to know every aircraft imaginable, and whatever he saw that night was not something he recognized. Not content with just discrediting the official explanation, he also expressed his support for the government to investigate further. To this day, however, we still don't have a solid answer. So I guess for now, the whole thing is very much up in the air. Sorry. Oumuamua. Don't you just hate uninvited guests? Well, back in 2017, our solar system got one of the most mysterious uninvited guests imaginable. A mysterious red object somewhere between 300 and 3,000 feet long was observed moving past the sun. The visitor was dubbed Oumuamua by scientists, a Hawaiian word meaning a messenger from afar arriving first. Fitting, because it certainly came from afar, and it was the first object of its kind we've ever seen. Naturally, then, its sudden appearance was very exciting for astronomers, but it was also unnerving. Just what was this thing? Well, it was cigar-shaped and traveled at astounding speeds of up to 55 miles a second, a whopping 20 miles per second faster than the average speed of a comet. But unlike comets, it had no visible tail of space dust behind it. The strange object raced through our solar system for 11 days, then left again, never to return. Curiouser and curiouser. As you might have guessed, many were quick to cry alien, and understandably so. It seemed to defy all explanation. That being said, people have tried to explain it. Some believe Oumuamua was a block of solid hydrogen.
So Oumuamua, was this from Hawaii first? Because the name kind of gives me that Hawaiian vibe. I don't know. What you guys think?
While others are sure it was a comet after all, just one with strange, mysterious properties. Scientists say it was a bit of both, a comet filled with hydrogen ice. Remember how much faster it was than ordinary comets? Well, the clever clogs at NASA reckon that when it passed by our sun, the heat released the comet's hydrogen, causing the burst of extra speed. They also say there was no tail because hydrogen doesn't have the momentum to pull space dust behind it.
Okay.
But what do you think? Was Oumuamua really just a big old space rock? Or is all that just smoke and mirrors? I mean,
No, I mean, so their logic behind that with the hydrogen and the sun kind of melting it off and propelling it, but the hydrogen propelling it makes sense. So I kind of buy a little bit of that. I'm no scientist. I'm no physicist. Well, I'm just a hillbilly. So I don't know, but it sounds kind of cool. I mean, I'm buying it.
if an alien spaceship did come to our solar system to monitor us, wouldn't our governments want to cover it up to stop mass panic?
Yes, I believe so.
I'd love to hear your theories in the comments below. Crystal clear. Let's be real. UFO photos almost always look like they've been taken using a toaster. They're either super blurry or don't resemble UFOs at all.
That is true.
With that in mind, I'd like to present you with something absolutely incredible. A UFO photo that actually looks like it was taken using a functioning camera. Whoa! All jokes aside, this is the Calvine photo, widely known as the clearest UFO snap ever taken. Captured in Scotland by two young chefs in 1990, the incredible image shows a strange diamond-shaped object flying in front of a conventional plane. The two chefs sent it to a newspaper, but instead of publishing it, the paper passed the image to the British Ministry of Defense, where it promptly disappeared for 30 long years. Then, in 2020, British academic journalist David Clarke finally tracked it down. After first hearing about the story in 2009, but without the photographic evidence itself, it had captivated him ever since. Eventually, he tracked down a former Royal Air Force officer who'd held on to a print of it. Apparently, the retired officer had been waiting for someone to call him about it for years, so was more than
They're
willing
twins.
to share the pic. And unlike a lot of other UFO sightings, this one can't be easily debunked. Andrew Robinson, senior photography lecturer at Sheffield Hallam University, analyzed the photo and concluded that whatever the object is, it's definitely there in front of the camera. So there's no editing trickery going on. The RAF officer that held onto it also said that when the photo was sent in, the witnesses claimed the craft made no noise whatsoever. Weird. Who the witnesses actually are, though, we don't know. Though the names of the original photos should have been released in 2021, British authorities have refused to do so until 2076, citing privacy concerns. Suspicious much? What do you think? Let me know down in the comments.
Looks kind of like a blimp,
The Battle of LA.
more aerodynamic.
You remember the Foo Fighters I told you about earlier? You know, those strange lights that followed pilots around during the Second World War. Well, that wasn't the only time aliens allegedly came down to investigate us in wartime. Oh no. There was the Battle of Los Angeles. Shortly after joining the war, the USA was still reeling from the Japanese attack on their naval base at Pearl Harbor. The country was on high alert, preparing for the possibility of another strike on U.S. soil. So, when air raid sirens sounded in L.A. County one February night in 1942, troops ran desperately to the anti-aircraft guns and started firing. Soon the sky was filled with smoke, shrapnel, and fire in a defensive barrage that lasted over an hour.
If you've been getting scam texts like these, it was me. I said that probably means your data's been leaked, and I have.
Then, silence. But as the sun rose, soldiers realized something very peculiar. There seemed to have been no enemy at all. Absolutely nothing had been shot down. So what happened? Well, some witnesses claimed to have seen a single balloon-like craft in the sky that night, something ufologists are adamant is evidence of extraterrestrial activity. A now iconic photo showing countless searchlights focusing on an unknown object served as fuel for the fire. Could there be something alien amidst all the bright lights? Well, possibly. But it turns out the original image was heavily edited prior to being published in newspapers, so it would be clearer to see in black and white print. What's more, the U.S. Air Force concluded that a series of meteorological air balloons were released over Los Angeles at the time, which probably started the scare. So no aliens this time, although there's always a chance it was a cover-up. The Turkish UFO incident. Many UFO sightings are highly publicized cases that have inspired heated debate over the years. Then you have far lesser known ones, like the Turkish UFO incident. Between 2007 and 2009, 12 different witnesses came forward claiming they'd seen a strange metallic craft in the skies off the coast of northwest Turkey. But we don't have to take their word for it. Plenty of them filmed it.
Oh. I wonder if it looks the same in all.
It's shaky as hell, yes. But if we zoom in really close on a separate sighting of the thing,
It's the same.
oh, you can definitely see two figures moving around inside. Authorities were quick to try to dismiss the sightings as some kind of elaborate hoax, but that proved very hard to do. Indeed, after some of the shocking footage was received by two separate state-sponsored boards, they came up with nothing. Nada. In fact, they were forced to conclude that it was genuine. Now, that's not to say that they believed it was aliens, but they did
Right, but they said
conclude that the clip
craft is-
wasn't edited, and that the vehicle didn't conform to any known human craft. Holy cow. Honestly, I'm shocked that this one hasn't had more exposure. You can practically see the
This
two
is the first
pilots
time I've seen
inside
this.
arguing about whether they should ask for directions. Ant abducted.
So, what do you guys think about that? I mean, video that they could not dispute. Their government could not dispute. Um, and it was shot from. We saw two different videos. What appeared to be the same craft. I mean, that's pretty compelling. Usually with these sightings, and that's the problem I have with them, is that a lot of them, the big open sky, and we only have one or two viewings of the entire thing. I know in Texas, there for a period of about 10 years, there were so many different sightings, which was so many people seeing them on the same day, right? And getting footage. And that to me is way more compelling than one person claiming that, oh, this is authentic video. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below.
It was an unassuming night in October of 1957. In an effort to avoid the hot daytime sun, 23-year-old Brazilian Antonio Villas-Boas had decided to work in the fields of his farm in the evening. Suddenly, he was distracted from his labor by an ominous red star appearing in the dark sky. It grew bigger and bigger until, he realized it was headed right for him. Antonio watched in horror as the star revealed itself to be some kind of alien spaceship preparing to land.
And this is what I'm talking about.
Then he noped
If
right out of
only
there.
Antonio sees
Or at
it,
least he
then
tried
was it
to.
really there?
His tractor wouldn't start, so he was forced to flee on foot through the fields. But something was chasing him, and whatever it was too fast. Antonio yelped as he was tackled by several humanoid creatures who subdued him and dragged him onto the ship. While aboard, he was stripped naked and covered in a strange gel. Then the creatures took a blood sample from his chin and left him alone in a locked room filled with noxious gas, which made him feel seriously ill. As he sat there, naked, gooey, and sick on an alien spacecraft, he probably thought this night couldn't get any weirder. He was wrong. Suddenly, a nude female alien entered the room
Brown
and
chicken, brown cow.
seduced him. Yep. One thing led to another, and Antonio wound up doing the nasty with the alien babe. Then, after completing his task,
Sweet.
he was given a quick tour of the ship before being dropped off back
player.
home. Okay. So that wasn't a fever dream I had last night. It's supposedly a true account as told by Antonio himself. I'm sure you're pretty suspicious of his story, as most were when he first came out with it, but just wait. Antonio was examined by medical professionals shortly after the alleged incident and was found to be suffering from radiation sickness.
Oh, wow.
Now, I'm not saying that means his wild tale is true, but I'm having trouble figuring out how else he could have gotten radiation
All
poisoning.
right, this is a message about practicing safe coitus. Staying adults. Safe out there.
Either way, our spacefaring farmer stuck to the story for the rest of his life until he passed away in 1991. Was old Antonio really a victim of alien abduction, or was it all just a ploy for attention? Now that he's gone, it seems we'll never know for sure. The Baikal Enigma. Ah, Lake Baikal. This Russian body of water is the oldest and deepest lake in the world, with a colossal maximum depth of some 5,400 feet. That means two to-scale replicas of the world's tallest building, the Burj Khalifa, could fit in there stacked on top of each other. Crikey. Naturally then, the lake has inspired countless legends and been the site of an awful lot of alien activity. Many people over the years have reported seeing strange lights, craft, and even mysterious figures skulking around its shoreline. In 2009, one Sergei Konichkik and his son stepped outside to watch the sunset over the waters. To their shock, they saw two strange glowing orbs rise out of the lake and start floating above it. Thankfully, Sergei managed to snag a picture of these ominous lights before they vanished back under the murky depths. So, whatever they saw, it was definitely real. But sightings don't just take place around the lake, they also happen inside it. In 1982, a squad of Russian military divers reportedly encountered a group of abnormally tall humanoid creatures swimming 160 feet below the surface of Baikal. The group attempted to subdue and capture one of the strange beings, only to be forcefully ejected from the water by them. Now, if you surface too quickly while diving, you'll suffer from decompression sickness, or the bends, a potentially fatal condition caused by the rapid change in pressure.
Yeah, I think
Sure enough, several of the divers passed away
air
shortly
bubbles
after
in your
surfacing.
bloodstream or something of that
Jeez.
nature, I think. I'm
Those
not sure,
aliens
but-
don't sound too friendly. Sure, this story could have been just made up, but when combined with Sergei's photo and the countless other tales surrounding the lake, you can't help but think something must be going on over there. MIB.
Men in Black. Here we go. I've talked about them in
I'm
like
sure
part
you've at
one or
least
two.
heard of the Men in Black movies. Apart from that awful spin-off, they're a lot of fun. But
We're a lot
did
of
you know that they're based on a real-life phenomenon that's downright terrifying? See, when people report extraterrestrial activity, they sometimes get a visit from the real-life
Like
MIB.
the Mothman
Only
prophecies.
they don't get Will Smith knocking on their door.
Kind of
Creepy
something
men
happened
clad
there as well.
entirely in black have supposedly tracked down witnesses and either intimidated them into silence or, in some stories, made them outright disappear. Maybe making this video wasn't such a good idea. One particularly strange story occurred in 2009 and was caught on camera. Here you can see two insidious interlopers in a hotel in Ontario, Canada. Two bizarre men dressed in black wandered into the lobby. They had no eyebrows or eyelashes, seemed to be wearing wigs underneath their hats,
That's weird.
and were identical in appearance. Then, according to witnesses, the duo began grilling the bellboy to let them see the manager, Shane Sovar. When the bellboy told them that Shane wasn't working, they didn't believe him and began rummaging around as if they owned the place. Whatever they were looking for, it seems they didn't find it. Eventually, the strangers disappeared without a trace and were never heard from again. But why were they there in the first place? Well, Shane had reported seeing a large triangular UFO above Niagara Falls the year before. He'd mostly forgotten the incident, but it seems that not everybody had. Creepy, huh? Most ufologists believe the Men in Black are government agents tasked with suppressing word on alien sightings. But what if it's more than that? No hair of any kind, identical appearances? What if these guys are aliens themselves? Would it not be in their best interests to keep their existence under wraps so they can carry on doing, well, whatever it is they do? Oh man, I can see two men in black suits approaching my front door right now. I think that's enough alien evidence for one day. Have you ever had any extraterrestrial encounters? Let me know down in the comments below, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
All right, there we have it, guys. That's the best evidence proving aliens exist. This is part 3 of a 3-part series here on Hanging with Hillbilly, where I've reacted to this video in full. If you'd like to check it out, be sure and jump over there and check it out at its original site. I'll post it in the link below to see it accosted by me and my opinions. However, you're here to see what I had to think about it. I want to know what you think about it. Let me know in the comments below. It's kind of fun. This was a good time going through this video in a 3-part series, but it gave me a lot of, I guess, more questions than answers, really. Now, we did get to see some government officials and some military pilots giving their opinions on what they saw. Some actual video footage that we know was released, I think, in 2021, 2022. Was finally released. We saw some of that with like the Tic Tac there in part 1. But I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments below. Do aliens exist? Do Would you, if you're not sure, would you be okay with the fact that the government, if they were to come out and say, "Hey, they do exist. Here's what we know about it." Is this something that would terrify you and put you into some mass hysteria, or are you cool with the fact that, if they come out and said that we're not alone in this massive universe, ever expanding and ever growing? How could we be the only ones here? That's kind of where I stand on it. It's an awful waste of space. I think that was in a movie, but if there's not a life elsewhere, it is an awful space. And the more and more we grow technologically, the more and more we're discovering and uncovering this universe that is ours, and on this planet itself, planet Earth, which I do believe is round and not that. But sorry, guys, glad I think. Tell me, prove me different, prove me wrong on that one. But anyway, if there's anything you'd like me to react to here on the channel at Hanging with Hillbilly, drop it in the comments below. Let me know. Get in contact with me. We'll try to get that on. We'll discuss whatever you want to discuss here. I do appreciate you watching. Please hit that thumbs up button. It helps a lot. Helps this small channel grow. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Ring that notification bell. Have a lot of reaction videos coming out. The paranormal to music video reactions to more stuff regarding aliens. Thank you for watching. My name is Dave. I'm Hillbilly Dave, and I've had a great time doing this with you. So have a good one, and we'll catch you next time right here on Hanging with Hillbilly.